Lesson 4. From unity you arise, to return to unity is your growth. The mind discovers the path of return, but the heart provides the key to each step along the way. Dear friend, passive symbolism. There are two kinds of symbolisms, one is active, the other passive. Active symbolism is the basis for natural magic or any system attempting to carry out an action upon the invisible. We will study this later. The function of passive symbolism is to transmit knowledge from the visible to the invisible and vice versa. In our world, access to passive symbolism can only occur through the intellect, and only gradually can we get rid of this temporary support. Passive symbolism is essentially graphic, a point, a line, a curve, a polygon. It is bound by strict rules which are, in a sense, reflections of universal archetypes. It is based in space, contrary to active symbolism which is based in time. Survey of the elementary forms. The point, it is without dimensions. It is infinitely small. It is the simplest possible expression. The point is the symbol of the highest and simplest energy in this world. It is the symbol which issues from the uncreated. Therefore, the point positioned in the center of the circle, the solar symbol, indicates that the sun dispenses this energy throughout our planetary system. The line, by penetrating space, the point moves and thus creates the line, a symbol of manifest energy, which is on the verge of action. If the line is vertical, it symbolizes the energetic ascent-descent, or descent-ascent, indicative of an active energy. If the line is horizontal, it symbolizes the passive energy which doesn't act, which is subject to active energy. The line, as it divides space in two parts, is the symbol of duality. The cross, if the two lines cross, the point of intersection is a point of manifestation. It is the place at which the action of the active is realized on the passive. This cross is not only a Christian symbol. It is first and foremost a universal symbol. The circle, if the straight line is prolonged infinitely, it transforms into a circle. The circle symbolizes that which is infinite or directly emanates from the infinite. Therefore, when an energy belongs to the domain of the infinite, or is very close to this domain, it is usually represented by a circle. Symbol of the energies. In the previous and following lessons, we prefer using the word energy rather than vibration. The resonance of the word energy seems better within the framework of our present civilization. As soon as the energy penetrates the manifest, it can be represented by a circle, which thus symbolizes its infinite origin. The vertical line in the circle symbolizes the active energy of life, which has a characteristic of infinity. The horizontal line in the circle symbolizes the passive energy of matter, which also has the characteristic of infinity. The cross inscribed in the circle symbolizes the two polarities, which are included, but not expressed in the energy. It is also a symbol of the prima materia, the infinite energy which contains and encloses in itself both the active and passive energies. They separate in two different ways. These two energies separate but remain in the domain of the infinite. We have zero niter, the active energy, and salt, the passive energy. The two energies are liberated from the infinite, and we obtain the cross above the circle, which symbolizes the domination exerted by the elements upon the infinite energy. It is the symbol of antimony and also the symbol of our world, the earth. The triangle indicates that the energy is now limited. It no longer proceeds from the infinite world, but belongs to the finite. The triangle symbolizes the process of division of the energy which ensures the creation of the world. The two straight lines starting at the apex symbolize the growing distance between of the two energies which issued from the same point and descend toward matter. The basis of the triangle is the line representing the opposition of the two energies in duality. Two straight lines which meet and form the apex of a polygon provide a point of manifestation which provokes a radiation in the same direction as the direction of the apex. The more acute the angle, the more potent the radiation. Thus the apex of a triangle has a stronger radiation than the apex of a square. Symbol of the elements. Again we have a cross inscribed in a circle but with a central point. This symbolizes the two energies, passive and active, fused together in the form of the four elements. Each of the 4 parts of the cross represents an element. The top one is fire, the bottom one is air, the right one, water, the left one, the earth. The central point is the quintessence or 5th element, which contains the other 4 in balance. Other symbols are given to the elements. The element fire is the fundamental active element. The energy which is radiated to our world from the sun is the energy animating nature and providing life to man. The element air, the line which is contained in the triangle, indicates that this energy is passive, and that, by pressing against this obstacle, a fire can manifest. The triangles of fire and air point upward, indicating thus their subtle, spiritual character. The element water is the active element of the kingdom of matter. The element earth, the inside line, indicates that this element is passive and that by pressing against it, the element water can manifest its action into matter. We saw in lesson 2 that the names of the elements, and of the principles, should not be confused with the material bodies bearing the same names. Symbols of the 10 levels of energy of man's nature and consciousness. Level 1, the point which symbolizes eternity, the infinite power. Very little can be said about it. A contact with level 1 leaves the impression of a point which is so powerful that it seems black. Level 2, at this level, the energy is no longer symbolized by the point but by a circle separated in 2 by a vertical line which symbolizes the potential duality. As we know, this is the symbol for niter, that is, the life animating the spiritual world, which in turn animates the material world. Level 3, the triangle inscribed in the circle symbolizes the potential form which is not yet manifested. From this point of view, level 3 is at the limit between time and eternity, but on the side of eternity. Space-time, on the other hand, issues from the lower part of level 3, which is indicated by the sign of Saturn Kronos, the father of time. The passage from level 3 to level 4, that is, from eternity to space-time, modifies the meaning of the circle symbol. From level 4 on, and for all the following levels, the circle no longer symbolizes infinity but nevertheless points to its infinite origin. Level 4 is symbolized by the square. We are now in space-time. The square is the symbol of the quaternary which delineates man's evolutionary field. If you move the square perpendicularly to its surface, a cube is created, which is the symbol of the cubic stone, rather rough during the time of involution, polished by evolution. The diagonal cuts the square in 2 triangles, one represents the life energies and the other the energies of matter. Each side of the square is assigned to an element. Level 5 is symbolized by the pentagon. Dividing the circle in 5 allows one to draw 2 polygons, one of which is a star. The possibility of this double drawing indicates the duality of man. The star, the spiritual man, is locked in the pentagon of matter, but it generates in its center a smaller pentagon, the symbol of the macrocosm within man. The star can take 2 positions, one star with 1 point upward and the other 2 downward, the other star with 2 points upward and 1 downward. The latter is a symbol for the negative forces and should never be used. The 5 apices of the star radiate energies. The top one radiates the quintessence, the other 4 radiate the 4 elements, right and top, fire, right and bottom, air, left and top, water, left and bottom, earth. Level 6 is symbolized by the hexagon. The division of the circle by 6 produces a star polygon made of 2 reversed and interlocked triangles, symbols of the top and bottom worlds. Their crisscrossing symbolizes the union of the 2 worlds, which is accomplished by initiation. Several schools place the 6 traditional planets at the points of this symbol and Mercury in the center. Mercury symbolizes the union of the 2 worlds. The 2 triangles are the symbols of fire, active element of life for the higher world, and water, active element of matter for the lower world. Often, we see the 2 triangles inscribed in a circle formed by the serpent Ouroboros, which then indicates the 2 worlds enclosed in the infinite. Whereas all the preceding symbols of the triangle, square and pentagon could be drawn without breaking the line, it is necessary, here for the first time to break it in order to draw each triangle starting with its apex. The drawing in two parts indicates the separation of the two worlds, spiritual and material. This separation only applies in levels below level 6. Level 7, symbolized by the heptagon. The division of the circle by 7 produces two star polygons, 7a, 7b, see figure p.19. The appearance of two different stars in the heptagon shows, on the one hand, that during the descent along the consciousness and energy levels, multiplicity appears and becomes complex, for 3 symbols are now necessary for this level, and on the other hand, that the complete manifestation of duality is accomplished here. Each point radiates an energy which expresses one of the 7 double laws of the universe. One star expresses the positive aspect of the 7 laws, the other their negative aspect. You can draw both of them without breaking the line. They have a curious property: with each star you can find, from the sequence of the days of the week, 7cb following the arrows, the order of succession of the planetary geniuses, which is identical to the sequence of the days of creation, 7c clockwise. You can also follow this sequence on figure 1 of lesson #3p.14. Level 8 is symbolized by the octagon. The division of the circle by 8 gives 4 possible polygons: the octagon, 2 squares, figure 3, 8a, and a star polygon, figure 3, 8b, which you can draw without breaking the line. You cannot use a continuous line to draw the 2 squares. They characterize Mercury, the planet of occultism. One symbolizes thought, the magus, the other Hermes, the alchemist. Each square represents the 4 elements in the corresponding discipline. The octagon is the symbol of the astrologer. The appearing Maltese cross, figure 3, 8c, symbolizes the trial on the chosen path. If you draw all the possible polygons in the octagon, you can find 8 isosceles triangles. Level 9 is symbolized by the anagon. Here a new element appears. As a matter of fact, there are 2 continuous star polygons, figure 3, 9a, 9b, and a star polygon made of 2 triangles, figure 3, 9c. Level 9 is attributed to the moon. The 2 polygons, 9a, 9b, symbolize the 2 types of energy, passive and active, which transit through the moon, the last step before arrival into our world. The 3 triangles symbolize the 3 paths of initiation: the apex, the way of equilibrium left point, the way of rigor right point, the way of mercifulness. The most acute, continuous polygon, 9b, represents the energies of psychic experiments. The most obtuse, continuous polygon, 9a, represents the energies of universal justice. The balancing of these energies reduces the problems of life on Earth to an infinitesimal level. Note that polygons with an odd side number like 3, 5, 7, 9 can be positioned pointing upward or downward. Thus, 3, fire becomes water. 5, spiritual man, star pointing upward, becomes material man, star pointing downward. 7, the 7 positions become negative. 4, 9, the case is different. Pointing upward, we obtain fire for the center way and water for the sideways. Pointing downward, we obtain water for the center way and fire for the sideways. The sideways are respectively the way of rigor and the way of mercifulness. If we meditate on the series of the 3 triangles, we can create a resonance in us which may shed some light on the choice of the path which suits us best. Level 10 is symbolized by the decagon. The division of the circle by 10 gives a continuous, star polygon, 10b, and 2 polygons made of a double drawing, 10a, 10c. These 2 polygons represent the 2 types of energy which arrive on this earth. The discontinuous polygon, 10c, is very interesting because it is actually formed by 2 stars of the pentagon. These are the 2 aspects of man on earth: the spiritual, pointing upward, and the material, pointing downward. The level, 11, doesn't correspond to a level but to an evolutionary phase symbolized by the heptagon, which expresses the negative forces of duality. Note that in the first 12 polygons, the polygons 7 and 11 are not exact in degrees in the sexagesimal division. In the division of 360 by 7 there is a remainder of 3 degrees, and in the division of the circle by 11 there is a remainder of 8 degrees. The inexact division makes clear that these symbols have freedom in their action in the universe. 7 is the symbol of free, constructive, and positive action. 11 is the symbol of free, negative action. The 12 is the number of each evolutionary phase. It is symbolized by the dodecagon. The division of the circle by 12 yields 3 discontinuous polygons, 1 of 2 hexagons, figure 3,12a, and 1 of 3 squares, figure 3,12b, 1 of 4 triangles, figure 3,12c, and a continuous star polygon with 12 points, figure 3,12d. Symbol of sulfur, the soul of things, the animating energy made of air and fire. This symbol expresses the fact that fire, the highest energy, issuing from the sun, dominates the energies of the 4 elements of nature. Symbol of salt, of matter energy. It represents the body of things. Its purifying power is its essential characteristic. Consider the symbolism of the salt of the earth in the Bible. Symbol of Mercury. Mercury is the messenger of the gods. It makes possible the junction between sulfur, the soul, and salt, the body. Here the moon D, the world of levels 7, 8, 9, is married, united to the sun O, the worlds of levels 4, 5, 6 in order to dominate the 4 elements of earth. Symbols of the planets and their metals. Symbol of lead, planet Saturn, level 3. The energies of the 4 elements dominate the lunar energies transmitted to the earth. Saturn, lead, is at once the Mahavan and in the tarot, the path 32, the beginning of initiation. Symbol of tin, planet Jupiter, level 4. The lunar energies dominate the energies of the earth, the reverse of Saturn. This reversal is due to the passage of the abyss between lead and tin. Symbol of iron, planet Mars, level 5. Mars expresses outwardly the solar energies it receives. It is therefore the symbol of force. Its energies should revitalize blood. Symbol of gold, planet, the Sun, level 6. It transmits the energies of the infinite into our system. Symbol of copper, planet Venus, level 7. Here the solar energies dominate the energies of the earth. Symbol of Mercury, planet Mercury, level 8. The lunar and solar energies are united to dominate the energies of the earth. It is the planet of magic, of alchemy, of astrology and initiation. Symbol of silver, planet Moon, level 9. Its symbol expresses its function, which is to only transmit part of the solar energies in its domain. Waxing moon, positive, waning moon, negative. What we have expressed here about the symbols is only a start. It is expected that each one will progressively discover his own system of symbols. Oratory work. It is important, as we already mentioned, to write down your experiences and the date, the day, on which they took place. Proposed exercise, meditation on the polygons. Material preparation. Bring a big sheet of paper. Draw the polygon, the basis for the meditation, inside a circle 20 to 30 centimeters in diameter. On the same sheet, but separately, draw the figures which are to be inscribed in this polygon. You can draw them at a smaller scale than the circle. Exercise. Start preferably by concentrating on the mirror. Place the study sheet in front of you and let the drawing you just drew penetrate you thoroughly. Active phase, visualization. A. Visualize the construction of the polygon. B. Next, visualize the sequence of overlapping for the figures which are to be inscribed within the polygon. Passive phase, meditation. A. Close your eyes. If you achieved the black phase of the mirror, you can now leave your eyes open. B. Established silence inside of you. C. Establish a mental vacuum so you can be receptive to the resonance which is created by the symbol in your inner self. Close the work as indicated before. A week of meditation on the polygon. Saturday. Always start with Saturday, meditation on the triangle. Subjects to treat: eternity, time, understanding, intelligence, the solid aspect of material things, for example, how to take care of the skeletal structure. Sunday, meditation on the hexagon and its two inscribed triangles. Subject to treat: beauty, harmony between people and beings. Monday, meditation on the onigon, its two polygons, 9A, 9B, and its three triangles, 9C. Subjects: problems with liquid, water, or procreation, problems concerning universal justice. Tuesday, meditation on the pentagon and its star polygon. Subjects: problems of force, of health cured by purifying the blood, problems concerning the duality of man's two aspects, the positive and the negative. Wednesday, meditation on the octagon, its star polygon and its two squares. Subjects: mystical, occult problems, alchemy, magic, astrology, care of the throat, training with sound to acquire the word. Thursday, meditation on the square, on its division into right-angle triangles. Subjects: problems of esoteric knowledge, of the origin of cults, problems of health and everything having to do with assimilation in general, intellect, breathing, food, solid and liquid, financial problems. Friday, meditation on the heptagon and its two star polygons. Subject: the 7 second causes, the 7 double laws of the manifest universe. We can attempt to direct contact with the vegetable nature, problems of venous circulation and feminine health. Meditation on planetary symbols. If you feel intimidated by the job of drawing of the polygons, you can perform the meditation work by using the graphics of the planetary symbols, Figure 1, Lesson 3, which you should also trace on a big sheet. However, the result in this case will be less effective than in the work with the polygons. Observations: for the work on polygons, like for the work on the planetary symbols, there is no obligation to follow the sequence given for the week. If you feel better about working in the oratory at a given day, perform then the work indicated for the meditation of the day. But if you decide to follow the week planning, you should start with Saturday. As you probably noticed, the meditations of the week do not follow the order of the levels. In this work, we do not call for any energy. Otherwise, it would be imperative for us to follow the numerical order, in order to avoid finding ourselves in very uncomfortable troubles. Thus, in the exercises we indicated above, there are only passive manifestations. Concerning the subjects to treat, it is better not to use them as a reason for meditation. That is, do not take the risk of crystallizing them. It is best for the meditation to be, without any specific object. As a matter of fact, and as a function of the rule of the second causes which are at play here, a meditation is spontaneously oriented toward the subject which needs to be dealt with. For psychic or inner results, there is a good chance that the information of the experience will be communicated through metal symbols, which often figure either in the setup or through the direct presence of the metal, such as gold, silver or mercury. Awakening the levels. This exercise consists in meditating for 3 days on each level, so that in 30 days you have gone through the 10 levels. Here, it is no longer possible to follow the days of the week. You can start where you want to. If you start with level 1, you should plan, for the meditation on the point, to draw a small black circle 1/2 centimeter in diameter on a white sheet of paper, and, for level 2, to draw a vertical line bar. You can perform this exercise several times. The exercises proposed in this lesson are preparatory and essential for the exercise proposed in the next lesson. Ora et labora. The Philosophers of Nature Appendix and Figures. Appendix, the construction of the 10 polygons, Figure 1, construction of the 10 polygons, Part 1 Figure 2, construction of the 10 polygons, Part 2 Figure 3. The geometrical division of the circle for the construction of the polygons. Appendix, the construction of the 10 polygons with ruler and compass. The first thing is to learn to construct the polygons with a ruler and a compass without using a protractor. Individual construction of the polygons increases the depth of the meditation. Let's start with drawing 1 of Figure 1. Construction of a square. Draw the circle. Draw a straight line H through the center of the circle. From each intersection of this line with the circle, draw 2 small arcs at P, which determine a straight line perpendicular to H and passing through the center. The construction of the square is obvious from that point. This method, which is actually the bisection of an angle, division of an angle into equal angles, is therefore necessary for the following sequence of drawing. Drawing 2 is accomplished by transferring the length of the radius onto the circumference 6 times. We obtain then the triangle and the hexagon. However, an arc of circle B was added using A as a center.